share, a little bit more too. People actually have to really understand there are no politics. There are no political parties. This is a spiritual war. And who the person is on the outside is not who they really are. It's who they are. It's the energy that operates the body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I am here walking this earth right now. And that's why Mel is here walking this earth right now. And we all have a soul contract, and we came in for this. Sometimes I say, Mel, I got to see the signature on the soul contract. But we all came in, and we came here for the. We're like a spiritual army of God, and we're walking through this time period right now. But when they say, like in the spiritual community, that they share about the veil is going to be torn, or the veil comes down. It's going to be a torn veil. Like what that means is the reality, like of subconscious programs. It's just going to fall. It's not going to be like a literal tear in the sky. There might be a literal tear in the sky. I don't know. There might be a literal tear. But what it means is that the illusion that was cast, it's going to dissipate. And as they said, there will be those that get left behind. Dolores Cannon spoke about this time period. She said that the awakening, as you expand consciousness or receiving the light from the solar flash, however you want to look at it, it must be done slowly, because she said the body will overload your physical body. If you were like, this is fake, this is fake, this is fake, this is, and she said the physical body cannot, you are awakening. And I've done this, Mel. I've gone through periods of time where I sat, I put on YouTube, I started consuming all this information, and I started learning, and all of my subconscious programs were broken in my body. So can you imagine? And sometimes we can't blame our brothers and sisters. I'm grateful that I actually stumbled across information on YouTube, because I made the decision to watch these documentaries. I watched this documentary, The Secrets of Vibration and Frequency, of Nikola Tesla, and that's what started my journey. I said, this makes sense. This is the real science right here. Because I have a science background, I have a science mind, and that's what started my journey. And I started taking in all this information. But I don't know if you've ever experienced that. You could share. Did you ever like learn something new, and then all of a sudden you were like exhausted?
Every day, brother. Every day. I get information overload. It's like I wake up, I feel like I'm drinking information from 10 fire hoses coming at me at full blast. And when I watch, for example, I'll give you a classic example. Within 3 minutes of the movie coming out, 2,000 Mules, within 3 minutes, I had 19 people send me that movie. To me, that was a signal. In 3 minutes, 19 people send you that movie. You got to stop your world. And one guy actually said, Mel, you got to stop everything. My friend Patrick said, Mel, stop everything. Watch this, please. So I watched it, and I watched it again, and I watched it a third time. And I said, if I was a police officer, low-ranking police officer, I would sit down my superior. And I say, give me your cell phone. I'm confiscating your cell phone for an hour and 40 minutes. I want you to watch this movie. I don't want any distractions. Pay attention. And after you watch that movie, my superior, my police officer superior, whether he's a captain, whether he's a sergeant, it doesn't matter. If he doesn't see the same movie I see, and he doesn't allow me to do my job, I'm arresting my superior, because otherwise I should be arrested for dereliction of duty as well. That's where my mindset is at. So where are you police officers out there?
It's getting to the point now. It's content of character. A lot of people, they go about they work in the matrix. I share about they work in the matrix. Oh, but my job, my boss, I have to do this. Everything is being revealed in the content of character that lies within. I was given a decision, back in October of 2021. By midnight of October 1st, you need to take this experiment or you will lose your New York City Department of Education tenured position. And it was unlawfully taken away from me because I bet on myself. I work for God now and I work for the people. And, I'm grateful for you, Mel, for giving me this opportunity to share my voice. And I hope that others will step forth and be authentic and not do things just because my boss told me the matrix, I have to do this. Well, everything is it's going to be revealed.
Boss told you to beat up a little old lady who's walking her little chihuahua for not wearing a face diaper during New World Order, and you know that those orders are unconstitutional, and you follow those orders, and you're beating up little old ladies for not wearing a stupid face diaper because there's some boogeyman out there, you're going to go to prison. Not maybe, guaranteed, because the American people are going to demand their pound of flesh and bet everything you have, we're going to get our pound of flesh. If I was you, I would start the plea bargain and say goodbye to your loved ones. You're going away.
Did you ever hear of hypoxia?
No, tell me.
It's when the body takes in too much carbon dioxide. You get sick. Can you imagine children sitting in a building for 7 hours a day, breathing in their own carbon dioxide? There's a quote: a society is judged by how they treat their most vulnerable. That's how we're going to be judged by God. A lot of people, because of their ego, oh no, they turn the other cheek, if you will. They turn a blind eye. I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at that. But we as a society are judged by how we treat our most vulnerable. All attacks go towards the children because the children become adults. And it's about the subconscious mind. Never forget subconscious programs. And that's why all this craziness, I've shared about, if you did the research, why we have to just ask the question, why does Disney start so many movies with the death of a parent? You ever watch a Disney movie?
Yeah.
The Lion King?
Yeah.
There goes the father off the cliff.
Yep.
Here comes Bambi. Boom! There goes the parent, dead shot. These videos should be like PG-13. The kids are watching this, but what's happening is I just want to teach subconscious programs and for people to understand how this works. We have to be mindful of what our children are watching and what they're listening to. We listen to a lot of music. Listen, I did it when I was younger. Listen, it's got a cool, jingle. And then I realized, what are the words I'm listening to? But did you know that mainstream music is tuned to the 440 hertz frequency? It was changed from the 432 hertz frequency, God's frequency, the frequency of the universe that resonates with the Schumann resonance. So music is supposed to heal you. But for some reason, and someone's got to give me the answer because I'm asking a question, why was mainstream music tuned to 440 hertz frequency? Did you know about that, Mel? Did you know about 440?
They understand frequency, they understand energy, they understand what hurts you, they understand what's good for you, they understand what's bad for you. They understand a lot that we don't understand.
Right.
Yeah, everything, the food you eat, the chemicals you use to shampoo your hair with, I don't have any hair, but you do, you know.
You got a tremendous beard, though.
Your toothpaste that I'm willing to pay dollars more per tube because I don't want to poison myself. The food you eat is covered in pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. The information you consume is to poison your brain. Everything is designed against you. Okay. Doctors that go to school to learn how to do medicine. Okay, because when the Rockefellers are the ones that put all the books together and they sell them at a loss. So if him and I decided to go into the book business, we can't even compete because they're multi-trillionaires who don't need the money, and they basically have a system of brainwash, a system that doesn't work for humanity.
Correct.
Okay, and so we could have went the other way. We could have went towards medicine that's herbal based medicine, not drugs that is petroleum based, which makes you go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I know because my mother's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She's losing her mind because of this drugs. You understand? And so, see, I keep saying you understand when I should be saying you understand, because they've done a great job at brainwashing me.
That's also, I think, a Brooklyn, Jersey thing, because I say it as well. You understand? that's an Italian from Brooklyn, New Jersey thing.
I'm closing you. Do you understand? Are you with me?
Right.
Right.
And you know, you brought up two good points that I'd like to talk about as well. What we consume is not only what we eat and drink, it's what we watch and what we listen to. So all this is, we consume everything here, and what we breathe. Got to watch out for chemtrails, Mel. Got to watch out. You know, you could look up some people that they could say, I say, look at the chemtrail. Oh, that's not real. No, that's just an airplane. And then you watch it, then they start spindling down. I see spindles coming. It's actually the #1 attack on humanity, because nanoparticles, they go in the air, it goes in the water, you breathe it in. Nothing to see here, though.
And they want to block the sun from getting to you so that you can grow spiritually. It's so easy to understand. There we go. I'm going to get in that habit of saying understand.
No, yeah, we get it over time. I went through this as well. But yeah, you know, the sun is activating our DNA, and it's not a spiritual term. So a lot of people in a spiritual community, they hear about DNA activation. Your DNA is not just, if there was one thing, I recently gave a speech. I said, if there's one thing that you can leave this message today with, is understand that you never had junk DNA. It's all about light and sound reception and transmission. Did you ever hear about epigenetics?
No, tell me. I don't know. I know a lot about a lot, but I don't know everything about everything.
I'm bringing you a lot of information today. So yeah, epigenetics means above genetics. Epi meaning above. So we were programmed, again, go back to the subconscious programs. We were programmed to believe, which has a lie in it, believe that we are a victim of our genetics. However, our DNA can be altered. So certain things, our surroundings, the people, the foods, the water, can alter our DNA. Can you imagine the things in today's society that are able to alter the DNA so that people would not get the benefits of the sun and the new activations from the solar flash? And I just want you to just think, I want you to think, expand your consciousness, and just say to yourself, what are the things, I don't know. I don't know. No one, we're just throwing it out there. What are the things that can alter our DNA so we're not getting the DNA activations? I don't know. It's just a question. And that's why it's important to ask questions.
Yeah, exactly. We ask a lot of questions, and we're going to continue to ask questions until there's no more questions and every question has been answered according to what we want. Okay. See, if you come to Costa Rica, for example, and it's got its political problems, don't get me wrong. This is one of the most corrupt countries in Latin America. I think they wrote the book on how to be corrupt in politics in Latin America, to be quite honest. And the fact is, if you come here, there is no shortage of food. There are no empty shelves. There's food. If you go to the farmer's market, the food's stacked to the ceiling. We got literally 436 food stalls, okay? 436 farmers from all over the world. People selling fish, chicken, beef, pork, every exotic fruit and vegetable you could possibly imagine. And we got plenty of it. Yes, there's some stalls that are organic. See, life is about a choice. You can go organic, or you can spend a little bit of money because it costs more money, because it's more laborious to grow organic and fight all the stuff. There are some easy ways of doing it, but they're not educated on what. But I don't not to get off course. The United States is the biggest domino that needs to fall, but the domino weighs a quintillion pounds. It's 7 miles wide. It's 22 miles high. Solid steel. You're not going to knock that down so that you can bring in communism. See, Costa Rica, the reason why there's food here is because Costa Rica is not the domino that needs to fall to usher in communism for the entire planet. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's why, as United States goes, so does the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why we had the Great American Eclipse, and then the next eclipse will cross in 2024. It's all about United States, and it's a very important pivotal time period, and it's literally all about consciousness.
Yes.
And I'm going to go back to what I shared about light, the solar flash, how our brain waves are influenced and expanded by the light of the sun, and the Schumann resonance. So the Schumann resonance is connected to human brain waves, and vice versa. We collectively can also influence if there's been examples, Mel, when there was mass meditations. People say, well, it's just mass meditations were held, Schumann resonance goes off. So we are connected to this. We have to really understand the power of the mind control. And we got to call it, I call it what it really is, Mel. I don't use the manipulated world. It's not media. It's Medea. You know about Medea?
No, tell me.
You know about Medea? Oh, you don't know about Medea?
Tell me.
Yeah.
I like to learn.
I got to have a little fun. I talk about raising the vibration. I make jokes too, Mel. You should check out Friday Night Live. It's tremendous. I teach every day, and I on Friday Night Live, I do, I try to have fun with everyone. Good. But Medea, media comes from the term Medea, which comes from the goddess Medea. Media is not to inform, it is to deceive. The goddess Medea was known for her cunningness and ability to deceive people. That's where it comes from, and that's why consciousness is in the words. So we've been sharing about. Go ahead. Interesting.
No, I'm gonna keep going. I'm learning.
Yes.
You're learning from me. We learn from each other. No one man or one woman is an island. That's why I said they made this thing so complicated about the digital assets that I said, if we don't build a channel that teaches people how to do it, if we don't teach people that there is not Klaus Schwab on the field, but there's Jassara Nassara on the field, and Klaus Schwab is opposed, not unopposed. Okay, because I thought 3 years ago, you would have asked me, I said, we're going into communism. I thought XRP was part of communism. I didn't see Jassara Nassara on the field. I didn't see, but this system here, Mike, correct me if you think I'm wrong, because there's 7,200 multi-billionaires, and some of them are probably multi-trillionaires. They just never make the Forbes list. The Rockefellers and the Bilderbergers and the Vanderbilts and so on. The families, right?
Right.
But I believe this new system is going to create such an abundance that I believe that this is not a far-fetched number, as much as some people think that I'm a crack job for saying what I'm about to say again for the umpteenth time. Okay, 100 million new multi-billionaires are about to engulf the planet, and there's going to be such an abundance, and there's going to be the 1.8 billion people that are going to get their UBI that are unbanked, that are going to be banked for the first time, and that UBI needs to travel through the XRP. And the people that are going to have wealth, they're going to have so much more wealth than the 7,200 multi-billionaires currently right now, according to the Forbes list, which is a bullshit list, that we have no choice to give it away. We have no choice but to open up charities. We have no choice but to open up humanitarian projects. We have no choice but to open up healing centers. We have no choice. And our money is going to make so much interest that some of us are forced by default, just on the interest alone, to open up more humanitarian projects on the interest, not about the money.
It's
going to be for everybody to go around 100 times over.
It's it's important, what you just shared. It literally isn't about the money. Right now on my journey, I'm just I have a little shack I'm by the beach. That's all that matters to me. If I had $1 million to live in the middle of Manhattan, I would just let it rot there. It's about what you want. And a lot of people are, I've spoken to these people, they're a lot like me. They just like a simple life. I like a simple life. I like to work out. I like to be healthy. I like to have fun, do my basic stuff. But and I'm so driven, and I know I could sense that you are too. I am so driven to learn the truth. When I started my channel, I had a friend, he said, you could do a video every single day. I said, yeah, there's so much that we have to unlearn and relearn. I can do a video for
The internet is terrible today. Are you there? Yeah, back
yeah,
up.
I'm here.
Back up 9 seconds. The internet is terrible. They're messing.
It's a bad.
I apologize. We're being messed with because we're resonating. That's why we're not allowed to grow on these channels, on these social media.
Yeah.
They're Marxist organizations. These are brainwashed people who have no spine. They have no cojones, zero cojones. Okay. And they have somebody above them, obviously tell them what to do. And they're making millions of dollars and they're having fun stifling free speech. Not for long. NFL, not for long.
The NFL, I like that. I like it. Might also be, I might not be on the best Wi-Fi, so I also apologize.
It's okay.
But it's where I am right now. Did you hear I'm on a shack by the beach right now?
Yes.
Did you get?
Yeah. Are you? That's where you're living right now?
Well, I'm just here for a period of time. I also share about neuroplasticity. We had a conversation before we got on, and if you know what neuroplasticity is, when we develop new pathways in the brain. We do this by doing something new or living in a new location. So, every once in a while, I like to switch up my location. On my channel, I go out in nature and I don't go to the same place. I try to vary where I go and I vary what I do. So it's actually a very important time because we're all going to have to expand ourselves. It's important to switch things up. Have a routine, but also switch things up, do new things, challenge yourself, and switch up your locations. And that's important during this time period.
With all due respect, I really do feel that you're my brother from another mother. And I'm not saying this to you to blow smoke up your ass. I'm not doing that, okay? But you should make arrangements to come down and see me here in person in Costa Rica. This is a beautiful country. And I will take you to places that you'll feel like so enlightened and so close to spirituality, it'll make you cry. Seriously. You should come down like around December, January. Let's make arrangements for you to come down. Let's go to the beach. Let's do a podcast from the beach. I think
that would be tremendous.
I might turn you into a mule for a little bit and have you bring me down some non-poisonous, underarm deodorant and toothpaste.
Yeah, get the aluminum. Everyone shoves some aluminum under their arm. And it's crazy. We actually don't have to wear deodorant. The reason why, say, I'm just going into a science tantrum right now, but the reason why maybe a person might have a BO or whatever is because the body is trying to purge chemicals and toxins that were given to us in food. So the more that we actually eat organic, we don't even need deodorant. All of these things we were programmed. You got to wear these the fancy Nike rubber sole, and they put. I have a joke on my channel. I talk about prestige. You got to have prestige. You got to spend $200 on the rubber sole Nike sneakers. When it's not about but that the people. You ready? This is this is a true story right now. If a person is in the ego, and they have to live with prestige, they are having a difficult time period right now. If you could live basic, I'm a basic man. I really am a simple man. It's true. But if you could be simple and it's not a difficult time period. No. I gotta have my healthy food, drink the water. I gotta work out. I gotta have internet connection.
Yes.
I am at home. I have that better internet connection. But you just need what you need at this time, and know this. There are people that are listening to this message right now, and you are having a difficult time mentally. I share about mental health awareness on my YouTube channel. If you mentally realize that we are in World War III right now, which is a spiritual war, there will never be, and I don't want anyone to be fearful, there will never be an atomic bomb or anything that goes off or anything like that. Realize that we're in war. And then it actually says, oh, you know what? and it actually makes it more of a game. And it's okay, now this is what I know how to plan and move around this time period. That's what we're in right now. And if a person is struggling with mental health, I share about the Hawkins scale of vibrational consciousness. The mainstream and controllers of the narrative want to put you in the bottom 3 states: fear, guilt, and shame. Shame is the lowest state of vibrational consciousness. It's actually lower than fear.
Mm-hmm.
If you have shame, you feel worse than fear. You'd rather be fearful than be shamed. Oh, I'm so ashamed. Right. Oh, you're gonna hurt grandma. Oh, you're gonna do that. Oh, we're starting to understand this now. When we see the shame, look in the world where you could write it in the comments. Where do you see shame? Where do people put shame on you? And if you come across a person that gives you shame, then we have to remove people from our lives, find better people. I found my brother today, right? And this is resonance. And you just feel it. You say, wow, I feel so much better. We have subconscious programs. That's how they get the hive mind. Everyone's following this. Everyone's got it. Oh, you got to do all this. You have to start thinking differently and know that you were given the subconscious programs. Absolutely. And the best way to survive the rapture, the best way to make it through this time period is to do the opposite. Do you know about do the opposite, Mel?
Yeah, I always do the opposite of everybody else. For example, everybody started what you would call it, a YouTube channel, right? And what I did is I started a Telegram channel, then I started the YouTube channel. So I'm the salmon that swims upstream. So you're speaking my language. I go 100. If they tell you that Ukraine is bad, Ukraine is good. If they tell you Russia's bad, Russia's good. Everything is the opposite. Absolutely.
Everything's the opposite. So like for me on my journey, and you have to actually have courage to do it. You have to really, I said, oh, you know what? Sunblock is actually not what we need to do. The sun is actually not harmful. And I had to make a decision for myself to stop wearing sunblock. I can't express to everyone listening how my energy levels, the more I'm out in nature, all of these things. In the spiritual community, you hear about raise your vibration. You ever hear about that? Raise your vibes. Oh, you got to have, it's actually scientific. There are constructive and deconstructive interference waves. So certain frequencies can either mess you up, and then there's frequencies that can make you better as well. So anything that they tell you, like when I started to hear, I had to actually change my own subconscious programs. We've been sharing about a little bit about crypto, and it's very different for me. And I had to sit, and I started researching, and I said, you know what, an hour a night, because we all have to learn for ourselves right now. We all have to learn for ourselves. You spoke about what you said is definitely possible. You said like people will have so much money they won't even know what to do with it, and I'm gonna expand on that in a minute. So when I started to see some of the false idols, whoever they might be, on the television start talking bad about crypto, I said, I know. I said, oh, it must, that means translation. That might be something that I want to take a look at, right? So, on your journey, you just say, this might be something I want to take a look at. So I started learning about cryptocurrency, and I learned about all.
Can I teach you something? Don't call it crypto. Call it digital assets. Crypto is what they want for us. They want us in the crypt. They want us dead.
Well, that's it.
Okay.
I love that. Thank you for that. I just learned something new from you. Beautiful. And that's why we work together. Listen, we all have to learn. A problem with a lot of people, they say, I went to a prestigious school. I have prestige. I went to this university. I talked about this last night with my channel. I have a prestigious degree and I know everything. And that's why they're having a hard time. They can't let it go.
Right.
You can't live in the listen, even myself, I went to a university, and I share with people the greatest education that I gave myself was being self-taught. I sat down and I studied the things that I wanted to learn, not that I was given.
Now you're talking my language. Okay? I went to college for a very short stint to learn business management and restaurant management, all that stuff. I was raised in business. And I can tell you that half the shit that my professor was teaching, based on my experience in the real world, were never going to happen. Right? So a few months into the course, I had lunch with my professor, and I said, look, I don't want to offend you, but you don't know jack shit about business. I says, if you knew anything about business, you would be in business, not teaching the course. And by the way, 70%, I told him, 70% of the shit you teach is exactly just that. It's bullshit. It's never going to happen in the real world. You're wasting people's time and money and energy. Okay. So with that, I got out of college and I went back to what I do best, make money. You know what I mean?
Did you ever hear of the Rife machine?
It's funny. I heard of the Rife machine in 1993. You know where?
Oh.
In Costa Rica. Because I came here, I was broke as a joke back then. I moved to Florida. I went from living comfortable in New Jersey, and I had a beach concession awarded to me down the South Beach between 21st Avenue and 22nd Avenue on Collins Avenue, which is a parking lot. That was Mel's Beach. And on the corner was Wolfie's, which is a very famous hangout made famous by a Jewish gangster by the name of Meyer Lansky. Right?
Yeah.
And Wolfie's Deli, right on the corner of 21st Avenue and Collins Avenue. That was my beach. And I got to tell you, I had a great time during that time. It was an epic time of my life. But I went from being comfortable to going broke because things in Florida are not cheap. Your rent is not cheap. Everything was more expensive. Your food is more expensive. Everything's more expensive. And so I had a problem with my teeth. And I had like 9 cavities. I had all these metal fillings and all this stuff. And I went to go see a couple of dentists. They said, yeah, it's going to cost you about $19,500. I said, does that come with a blonde and a convertible? You
Oh
know?
my God. Crazy.
So I called my friend. He said, listen, don't panic. He goes, go down to Costa Rica. He goes, a lot of the dentists in Costa Rica have studied in Miami. And it's true. My dentist in Costa Rica actually studied in Miami and had to become a dentist. And he's an incredible dentist. And he used German, materials, which are the best of the best. And I got great teeth, right?
Beautiful.
So it cost me $2,060. I came here. I spent another $3,000 on entertaining myself, including rent and food and transportation. I mean, under $6,000, I went back with a full set of teeth. They took all my metal out. They replaced it with porcelain fillings, and voila. And a friend of mine, Larry, I was staying in Larry's little one-bedroom, studio down below in his house, a place called Los Arcos in Cagliari. And he brought out this box and he said, this is the Rife machine. This is a copy. And he started to explain it. And so I went down that rabbit hole in 1993. Yes, I do know about the Rife machine and I studied it. See, there would be no reason to get rid of Rife machine and Mr. Rife and put him in jail if the machine didn't work. Right?
And that's why we have to sometimes, especially in the world right now, we have to dive into the past for evidence for the future. And that's why future proves past.
Yeah. That's why I need to talk about frequency technology, because I got my finger on the pulse. See, I'm not interested in having my people, because I got a lot of people and I listen. I'm sort of like Sam Walton. Sam Walton was asked a very important question. He said, what made you so successful? He was asked that question on 60 Minutes. I know because I watched that clip over and over and over again, and I learned from that much more than I could learn in any college. He said, my customers requested things, and I listened, and I reacted on what they wanted, and I delivered what they wanted, and I became successful. That's all I could hear. So I'm doing the same thing because I got 28,000 people in all these Telegram groups that I run with my wife and some of the most amazing administrators like Mirko. And they hear, I don't have enough money to buy XRP. I don't have enough money to buy XLM. I need to make more money. I have pain. I need something that will relieve my pain. So because of that, I find the most incredible business opportunities. And I act on that because I hear my people saying what they need, and I'm bringing them exactly what they need so that they could do what? Get pain-free and get to the XRP in health as best as we can. And also there's a business opportunity attached to it for those people who are ambitious enough, because everybody talks a good game. Everybody wants to pick up the hot coals, but they want to do it with your hands. Everybody wants
Don't talk.
Yeah.
I say, don't talk about it, be about it.
Exactly. It's like everybody wants, to learn about the quantum financial system, but everybody wants you to spoon feed it to them. I'm not spoon feeding you nothing. You go to QFS1776.com, you spend 3 months inside, you watch all the videos, you read everything, you do it over and over again, and then when you hang out in the room, the language is not so foreign anymore. The basics are so simple that a 75-year-old grandmother could understand the quantum financial system. Right. You have to do it because we're burning down the old system and there's nothing to go back to. And then what happens in 30 years, Michael? In 30 years, technology is going to move so fast that you don't need money anymore.
Yes, eventually there won't be money anymore because it's your pure energy. That's what it is.
And when we get to that point, you will experience star travel. You will experience lifespans of 1,000, 2,000 years. You're going to be able to go visit other cultures, other star systems, other civilizations. You're going to be swimming in an ocean that maybe is not salty, maybe it's sweet. Maybe they put sugar in their oceans. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But you brought up an important point to really understand why people might act a certain way And if people that are on the journey trying to improve themselves, I had to do a lot of change as well. Change is painful, and people don't change until the pain of remaining the same exceeds the pain of change. So sometimes we have to get up, realize there's a lot of pain coming, and we have to change ahead of time. And typically, listen, I don't like change. I'm an authentic person. I don't like change. And I'm sharing, I had to change a lot of my lifestyles. The pain of change, once it exceeds the pain of remaining the same, or the pain of remaining the same exceeds the pain of change, then people start changing. So that's why some people say there's a lot of pain coming, but listen, change is painful, and I don't like change as well. And this is what we're going through right now. A lot of people are, questioning why hasn't anything happened? And authentically, we have to reach something called critical mass. Critical mass is happening, and the event is happening. Every day that passes, some of my friends say, Mike, I thought you said the event's coming. I said, the event is happening. Mike, when's the event? I said, the event is happening because it's an expansion. Every day, someone, even if it's one person, but we want to speed it up. We want a lot of people to awaken. And once we hit critical mass, it's over. And, a lot of the things that we're talking about, digital currencies, I'm learning a new term today. There will come a time where it reaches critical mass. And, I just maybe want to share something because I know your audience listens a lot about that. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is just common everyday life people that learned. I learned, and I'm just educating myself about this. And I find this very interesting. I learned about fiat currency, and fiat currency, they could print, I don't know, $7 trillion over the weekend. And, things could just out of the air. But one thing that I learned about XLM, the lumens, stellar lumens, is that there are only 50 billion coins that are in existence. I find this very interesting. So that means for every person in the world, there's only 50 billion coins that are available. Can you imagine what happened?
Billion, how many do we get?
Wait, say this again?
And you divide that by 8 billion people, approaching 8 billion people, divided by 50 billion. How many coins is that? Like 12 coins each?
Yeah. So it's, listen, people, they don't want to, but there's something important about it that I learned, because I learned about digital assets. Okay. And let's just say something like Ethereum, for example. And Ethereum is used, I'm just sharing, I like to share everyday life topics so people could learn about it. And I'm just educating people. I didn't know about this. I saw Ethereum is used to purchase things called NFTs. So it's actually used to buy and sell right now. And there's something called a gas fee. Every time you want to send someone a digital asset, you have to pay a gas fee. And I find it very interesting that XLM is, I'm pretty sure it's the only asset that there is zero gas fees. It is free, like the commercial, free to to send people money. And if we're moving to a sovereign world, I think that it shouldn't cost people money to send people money. And it's a
correct. That's why XRP is the king and XLM is the queen. And that's why
very interesting. I think it's part of the future.
XRP,
so, it's
yeah,
go ahead, you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah. XRP is the king, XLM is the queen. They both move at the speed of lumens, at the speed of light. Okay. And we're scalable to 3.5 trillion transactions per second. That's already been proven. If you don't believe me, just go and punch in XRP, trillions of transactions per second on YouTube, and you'll come across a video that's by Working Money Channel, or I forget, one of those, but you'll see it. The thumbnail will tell you the story. But I believe we got to get to what I call not the 100th monkey syndrome, but we got to get to the 100 million monkey syndrome. You know, so we got to keep beating this drum. See, I'm not here to become a rock star, though I've become a rock star of sense, and so have you. You've been at this for how long? I've been at this for 7 months on YouTube, social media. I've been at this for 3 years, 3.5 years or so on platforms like WhatsApp. And then we went over into Telegram, and we started growing by leaps and bounds. And then I started making some audios, and because I'm very boisterous, and some of the voice messages that I put out there inside my Telegram group had resonated with a guy by the name of Whiplash. And all of a sudden, Whiplash started putting me on his channel with 300,000 plus. And all of a sudden, people were joining in the hundreds. I'm like, where are these people coming from? And then all of a sudden, some people say, Mel, your message you just recorded at lunchtime ended up on Whiplash. You know, it was amazing what happened. And then just one thing just led into the next, and to the next, and the next. But we're not here to become rock stars. We're here to correct the wrong. We want all you guys out there, every single one. I would love to have 100,000 people start their YouTube channel. Don't worry about messing it up. Okay. And get the marbles out of your mouth. I know there's a lot of you out there that are so much more gifted than myself, and possibly even Mike. Okay. And just do it. Just do it. When you realize that your first 100 videos suck, go back and delete all of them. By the time you get to the 101 video, 102, 110, 180, you're going to get good at this. I'm not here. I have no interest in walking through the airports of the world signing autographs. I can assure you of that. I'm more interested in you guys becoming the rock star and me shutting my channel down because I did my job to the best of my ability. And because now we got 100,000 people that Mike and I and a bunch of people out there have inspired. We've worked our way out of a job, and that's called winning.
You know, it's very important what you shared. And you know, we're inspiring the warriors of the rainbow. It's about we the people. That prophecy is about all different people. And you know, I take a lot of pride on my channel inspiring others. You know, when I see people like, you know, leave a comment that says, you know, you know, you inspired me to start this or that. We're inspiring you to do this, because this is about us taking back our power. And false idols are not going to do this. And it's each and every one of us. You didn't think that God was going to put the big players in front of the camera. We're the people that are walking the streets. And you've lived past lives. And you know, I just want to leave something for, I'm sure there's someone, I know a lot of people are going to be listening to this message and hearing me for the first time. You know, I'm very grateful. You know, I have people that, you know, speak to me behind the scenes. They might never do a YouTube video, but they play a massive role in this spiritual war right now. And I have these people, and I'm very grateful for all of you if you tune into this. And everyone is playing a role right now. And it's not about the people that you see on the TV, whether they're good or bad. It's literally, we're all the real warriors of the rainbow that are on the ground. And you have to realize this. It's not who you were born in, your class, your creed, whatever. It's who you are when you activated your DNA at the divine timing. And I'm sure Mel is listening to this. There was a moment in time where he was activated, and he's like, this is my mission from God. You have to realize this now. I know people are listening to this right now. It's not about people you see on TV, the false idols. They told you they're going to give you bread and circus to keep you distracted, because it must be done by common people. It must be done by common people, not by, you know, oh, let's give our power away, because that was the old world. We gave our power away to this person. This person has a prestigious certificate that I could wipe my rear end with, because it was all programming. You have the power inside of you. Remember this, and, you know, be inspired to get up and start sharing, because that's the event, is the expansion of human consciousness. This is a spiritual war. It is biblical. And Commander is on the ground. And so it is.
Absolutely. Brother, I had an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I can't wait to do it again. I pretty much run by the seat of my pants. I apologize. So ill prepared for this. But it's unscripted. We don't have a teleprompter that we're reading from. We just basically shoot from the hip. We shoot from the heart. We tell it exactly the way it needs to be told. And you win some, you lose some. That's life. And I've done my entire life. I've been preparing for this role, but I used to do it slinging pizza slices behind the counter of a pizza shop. You guys are resonating with me because you guys buy a pizza from a guy like me around the corner from your house, and you can relate. You say, "Oh, Mel reminds me of this guy, Tony Bacigalup," Right? So, and that's why I never thought in my wildest dreams that I have, close to 100,000 people following me. I never this is like, it's like an out of body experience for me, to be quite honest with you. But it's humbling. And the chair was just basically just to troll the trollers, and it's working great, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to twist them up when they start twitching. They start, listen, it happens to all of us, but you're serving
coincidences. I want to get to the fact that there's no coincidences that Trump comes down the escalator. The speech, we're giving the power back to the people, comes down the escalator. There's a sign that says currency exchange. She's dressed in white. She's exactly 8 feet ahead of him. Everything is symbolic. And you have to be able to read what the symbols are. We're deep rabbit hole divers, and we want to know more. And the more we want to know, the more we want to know. And even though we're left with more questions after our journey, we keep diving down because we're addicted to information. We're information junkies because we know that we're not going to get it from CNN. We're not going to get it from Fox or ABC, which stands for always broadcasting crap.
I love that. That's great. Yeah.
So, and so we become sort of like the new news channels.
When I speak to you, I speak to my brother. And, that's what this is all about. It's about finding your soul family and the mission. And no one can tell you, this, you have to feel your way through. I want everyone listening to remember, don't look at, see through. And I see you, brother. And I know when I meet my soul family. So I'm very grateful that you had me on. And hopefully, if anyone's tuning in, I have a YouTube channel, Our Everyday Lives, and everyone is going to need a science teacher and a teacher, an overall teacher to get society through what we're about to experience. Because I've been on the awakening journey for a while. It's a lot to handle, but there's nothing that could once you see, you could never unsee. We're going to see things that could never be unseen. And then people are going to say, what's going on? And that's when I come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, thank you. You stay on. I'm going to hit the pause button. We'll catch you on the next one. And make sure you spread us around on your social media. We're trying to beat the algorithms. We're trying to, do what we need to do so that we can save humanity. There's people here that are not from around here, from other solar systems, that would like to see us thrive. And we're in the fight, and we're going to be in this fight until we win. Thank you, guys.